And that's where some girls go wrong, by making a guy feel like he's everything and you don't have no options. The Next Door Podcast. Welcome back to the Next Door Podcast. I am Bestie Next Door, and I'm like your bestie next door. If you like your tea to be extra, extra sweet, then this place is not for you. Because we like our tea to be sweet and bitter. Sweet enough that it goes down, bitter enough to wake us up. Now, guys, I told you guys I was going to start doing more mocktails because I feel like I can be preaching to you guys about being valuable and how to be a lady and things like that, and then I'm sitting here drinking so much alcohol. Not that I drink a lot, but I noticed that my face was getting a little bit chubby. Maybe you guys didn't notice that, but I noticed that. So I just said, you know what, let me step back from the alcohol thing and let's just make us a mocktail, because some people can't drink while others are not into alcohol that much. So I want to be as fair as possible. And again, I practice what I preach. So we are going to make us a mocktail, and we're going to talk about how to make anyone obsessed with you. Now let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is put some ice in my shaker. It's so crazy to me because I did a poll on YouTube and Instagram, and everybody was more on how to make him obsessed. So we're going to talk about that. I have my glove. So I'm going to put half ice, half strawberries inside. So we're going to go like this, drops of strawberries. And then we're going to put some ice. I used to make this drink when I used to bartend. I forgot what we called it, but I wanted to use the blue curacao, but I used it in the last episode. So I was like, you know what, let me not use it now. Added our strawberries. So we're going to put our grenadine at the bottom, because our grenadine is what's going to give us the color. We're only going to put a half of grenadine because we don't want it to be overly sweet. You pour it directly in. Now we are going to build our mocktail. Now also for garnish reasons, I'm going to put a strawberry as well. And I feel like a lot of people try to make guys that don't really like them to be obsessed with them. And that's not really possible, to be honest, if we're being really honest. Now we have our coconut cream. We're going to put 3 shots of this, right? 1, 2, 3. Let's just go with 3.5. 3.5. And now we're going to put 2 of pineapple juice. Sorry, I got OCD. I got to clean this up first. I don't know what to call it. Tropicana. All right, so we're going to do 2. Let's just do 2.5. Now, of course, we got to give it a shake. Shake it around, shake it around. Put our straw. And now, of course, guys, you cannot tell me this does not look so good. Now, guys, without further ado, first sip. Oh my God. It is so refreshing. I almost finished the whole thing. I got to pour again. Now, before we start this episode, if you're looking for the High Value Woman workbook, if you're looking for the High Value Woman audiobook, any kind of workbook or any kind of ebook, you can find it on onesecretroom.com. Onesecretroom.com has all the tips the girlies need. Also, whenever you're watching this episode, June 15, I'm going to come out with a guide on how to level up and being seductive. Stay tuned for that, June 15. Now, let's get into today's episode. How to make him obsessed with you, or how to make anyone obsessed with you. Before we even get to the how, I want you to think about your dating history, and I want you to think about a guy that you were overly obsessed over. Now, what did he do to make you obsessed over him? It was that absence. It was that mystery that made you obsessed with him. It was that him giving you a little bit but still pulling back. When you're trying to make someone obsessed with you, it's the same tip. You know, most times people say, oh yeah, just be a B, act like you don't care, this and that. You don't need to do that. You need to show them what they can have and then pull back away. For example, being vulnerable, being feminine, and hey babe, how you doing? Being sweet, being flirty around him, being so flirty and acting, you know, like he's everything to you. And then you know what you do? You take it back. But you see, the thing is that most of you want to make someone obsessed over you, but you guys don't give it the time. So you have to understand time as well. You can't say, okay, I want him to be obsessed with me, and then you think it's going to happen overnight. No, it's a thing where you have to be patient and know what you're doing, because again, you are playing chess, not checkers. Hello. You have to make him know enough about you where he's interested in knowing more, but you don't give him everything. It's not about being hard to get. Yes, you want a man to chase you, but you don't need to make it so difficult to the point where he's like, you know what, I don't even got time to be chasing this girl. Because to be honest, yes, men do love chasing, but when it's too difficult, they just give up. They're like, you know what, I don't got time to be chasing this girl. There's so many other girls instead of me chasing her, and she's making it so difficult. So when you come around him, you gotta be fun. Don't be so serious. Don't be so asking so much questions or who will you text it. Always make him feel like you are the breath of fresh air. When you make a man feel like you are his breath of fresh air, he craves you more. But when you question him all the time about things that don't matter, is when he's not going to really want to be around you. Like, for example, some girls is like, why didn't you text me? What time did you get home? How come you didn't call me yesterday? You don't do that. You make every single moment that he has with you memorable, whether it be flirting or just saying, hey babe, how's your day going? How are you feeling? How are you mentally? And after you get him where you want him, where he's used to you being all nice, you just pull away. When you pull away, you're going to make him obsessed, because now he's going to realize in his mind that, damn, there must be competition happening somewhere else, because why all of a sudden she gave me the best side of her and then all of a sudden she pulled away? That means that she's probably interested in someone else. And one thing about masculine men is they love competition. But the problem is that a lot of women don't have the patience. They rather just frustrate the relationship to work instead of using time to their advantage. Time can work wonders. Hello. Let me tell you the truth that a lot of girls need to know. If he doesn't like you that much, he's not going to be obsessed with you. No matter how hard you try, I'm doing all the right things. If he does not like you that much from the beginning, he is not going to be obsessed with you. So he has to, first of all, have some type of interest in you. I recommend you guys to watch First Date Tips. When you make your first date interesting and you make every time he spent with you interesting and intriguing and relaxing, is when he's going to like you more and crave you more. Because believe it or not, I know it seems like, oh, all women can be the same. All women are not like that. I feel like a lot of girls nowadays, especially in this new day and age, have this attitude of, so you got kids? Yeah, so you got this? So too much questions at one time. And it's like, yeah, you want to know these things about a guy, but it's always nice when you unwrap one at a time. Think about it like a present. You take it piece by piece by piece. The anticipation of opening the present and finding out what's inside keeps you, wanting to open it more and get inside of it. That's the same way you need to be when it comes to men and making a guy obsessed with you. You have to give him piece by piece. A lot of girls are too available. You're not supposed to be too available for a guy. It's not about playing hard to get, but you have to know how to balance it out. You're available, but then at the same time, you're not available. Until he stamps it and say, you are my girlfriend and you are mine, you're not in a relationship. So what does that mean? Since you're not in a relationship with him, you have options, and he's one of the options. Hello. And that's where some girls go wrong, by making a guy feel like he's everything and you don't have no options. And, oh, you're waiting for him to call you, waiting for him to text you. No, you let him know, baby, I got options. I got things to do. So if you're not moving at the tone that I like it, then next caller immediately. And when you have that attitude towards him and you let him know that, yes, I am the prize and I know I'm the prize because I have other people wanting me as well, is when he's going to start being obsessive over you. I promise you. And I'm gonna give you a story, because I had my fair share of crazy guys. Like, I had a guy pop my tire. My ex was overly obsessive with me. It was ridiculous. When we were dating at the time, I was so into him because he was my type. He had nice hair. He was cute, whatever. And I dated him when I was in my last year of high school. He was older. He got his GED and I wanted him to be my prom date. He didn't want to come with me to prom, but like I always tell you, the brokest men always have good deeds. Tell you the truth right now. Any man that has so much time on his hands to sleep with you for 5, 6, 7 times out of the week is broke. Because a man who's chasing his dreams and a man who's chasing money is not going to have time to be laying down with you every single night because he got things to do. Of course, he's going to make sure he's pleasing you, but it's not going to be 7 times a day, every single day. Like, come on. I don't know how some guys are like, yeah, me and my man, we do it 7 times a day. Well, it's because your man is broke and he's using the good deed to confuse you. That's why. Hello. I like to miss my man a little bit. I don't want to be laying down with my man 5 times out of the day, every single day, because it makes me wonder, like, you don't got something better to do? Like, can't you give my kitty a break? Like, hello, can you give my kitty a break? Why are you sitting there trying to stroke me 5 times out the day? You not tired? Like, you don't got some money to make? Any man that's sitting there coming to your house 5 times a day to lay down with you and is not chasing money, girl, you better next call that man, because that man is broke and he's using that good deed to confuse you. Anyways, let's make us another one because it's already finished. I didn't make that much. So anyway, when you are in high school and you're dating a guy that's not in your school and he's older, you feel like you're that girl and you're obsessed with him because he's older. It's fun. It's exciting. So I was literally obsessed with him, and he cheated on me a couple of times, and I didn't care, you know what I'm saying? Even though he didn't give me no money for it. After going to prom and stuff, I started realizing, like, yo, you know what? I need to flip the script. I can't be chasing a guy that, number one, he has no money. Number two, he's not going to school. I'm going away to school, so he's going to be back home while I go away to school. And secondly, like, he's not really doing nothing for me, and him not going to my prom really affected me a lot. It really did make me look at him differently because I felt like he was a hater. So that's when I decided to flip the script. Now, how did I flip the script? Usually, I'm always the one calling him. I'm always the one talking to him. I'm always the one initiating contact. It started getting to his head because he's used to me, going crazy for him. But you know what I did? I stopped acting crazy. I stopped calling him. I stopped answering the phone and saying, why you didn't call me back? Why you didn't? Instead, I'll tell him, I'm going to call you back and not call him back. And after a while of me doing that for a while, remember, it's not that I want him back. I wanted to be done with him completely. And that's another way to get over someone. It's just by going cold turkey. You are detoxifying yourself. It's almost like you go into rehab for drugs. You go cold turkey. You also got to go cold turkey when you're trying to detach from someone as well. I know I'm getting off topic, but it still ties to the same thing. Because when you are detaching yourself from a man, they start becoming obsessed over you. So this is how he started popping my tires. I stopped answering his calls. Anytime I told him I was going to call him back, I never called him back. One day, he always seen my car because he knew where I live. He always seen my car. I used to go to work. He used to know where I used to park my car. So one day I came out and I was trying to go to work. I realized all my car tires were popped. And I'm like, oh my God. I know I'm not messing with nobody's man. I know I don't have no other man I'm talking to right now that can do this, especially in the beginning stages. It's his crazy self. So from there, I knew he was obsessed. And how did I get him to stop acting so crazy? It literally took my friend pulling out a gun on him and saying, yo, if you don't leave her alone, it's going to get real. Yep. So to end off this episode, when you want someone to be obsessive over you, you really have to play their game in the sense that you give them and show them what they can have, but take it back again. Because it's like, no. Wait, why are you not texting me? Why are you not calling me? Why are you telling me you're going to call me back and you don't call me back? Those are the things that are going to make a man obsessed with you. But number one, you need to first of all make sure that he actually has interest in you. Because if he does not have any interest in you, then he's not going to care about you not calling him back, or he's not going to care. It's just going to fade away. So you need to be sure that, okay, well, on the first, second, third day, it seems like he's interested in me. So now I'm going to make him obsessed with me. You'll know how a guy feels about you by the way he acts and the things he say to you. Like, for example, if he's always calling you, he's always texting you, if he's asking you how your day went, you'll know how he feels about you. But you want to do that behavior in the beginning. For example, if he calls you, you don't want to answer the call because you're trying to make him obsessed with you. No, you answer, but you're not always available. You'll have a conversation for the first 4 or 5 minutes. You'll be like, yeah, babe, I'm a little bit busy right now. I'm going to call you back, okay? And then maybe you forgot to call him back. And he'd be like, hey, you didn't call me back. And you'd be like, oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I got so busy with work. I was so tired. Or instead of calling him back, just text him, hey, I'm so tired from work. Good night. That is how you're going to make him obsessed. Because think about it. Those are the games that men usually play with us. So if we play that same game with them, they are not going to be able to contain it. You will have him wrapped around your finger. Hello. And that's all for today. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little cocktail I made. I hope this episode gave you a lot of food for thought. If you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you're listening from, thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. You know it truly helps my channel. And turn on the notification bell to be notified when I upload more episodes. And all of you guys already know the saying, until we meet again.